Hi, my name is Gabriela from TulipArt Designs, and on this channel we are getting creative. I'm giving you watercolor sketching ideas, tips and tricks, stuff that can definitely bring you joy in your free time. Today is day 6 from our 100 watercolor sketches in 2025. This creative challenge that I started for this year, and I decided to share every step. Before we start our sketch, here are the supplies I'm using. I have my watercolor sketchbook, some watercolor paints. I have my watercolor brush. It's a round brush. It's size 10. Size 8 will also do the same job. Then I have my drawing pen. It's water resistant, which means that when you add watercolor on top of your drawing, the lines will not bleed. And then I have jelly roll pen. It's a white jelly roll pen, and I use it in the end to just add a few white lines, just highlights and small details. Then I have water. I have my towel here, paper towel, kitchen paper towel is fine, and I have a heat gun to help me speed up the process. So that's all about the supplies. I have the eraser and a pencil for the pencil sketch. The pencil sketch I already did. If you need the lines, they are available on my Patreon. So if you are a member there, you can definitely go and download them immediately or become a member. Now, I will ink my sketch, and I usually really like the sketchy style lines, but if you like very smooth and nice lines, that's also fine. So I will start with my tree, and I am going back and forth with my fine liner. And there are no perfect lines in nature, and if your tree is a bit asymmetrical, that's even better. We don't try to make it completely symmetrical or really, we don't like the straight lines. So if your lines are shaky, if your lines are, if they are coming out of scribbles, that's definitely fine. Don't try to make it perfect. If you have a bit different lines than mine, that's also fine. Just draw the way you feel comfortable with. And if you feel like, oh, but I really need to like this, just stop there and ignore these thoughts. It's absolutely normal for us to think what will come out of our drawing. But if you try to enjoy the whole process, and if you try to focus on, let's say, the breathing, and just maybe if you turn on a nice music, then maybe you listen to the music and you just sketch without really thinking about the end result. I assume that it's possible that you will definitely love the end result in the end. Now, this is the water. When we are sketching water, what we want to do is, when we are doing our line, we try to keep it more long in the, how to say, in horizontal way, instead of doing it vertically. This way we are going to really recreate the feeling that this is water and not like waterfall. I hope this makes sense what I just said. But you can see that I am just going horizontally every time instead of making the lines vertically here. I guess sometimes just watching what I'm doing is already enough and you don't need all the explanations, but wait, let me also sketch a little bit of our reflection of the tree here. And for the reflection, I'm going even more rough, just like this. I will erase the pencil lines because once we add the watercolor on top of it, then we can't really erase it anymore. So that's why I want to erase the pencil lines now. Okay. Now for this sketch, it's mainly about the sky and the reflection of the sky in the water. So I am gonna add lots of water. And I really don't want to make the perfect sky. We are more into enjoying the paint, moving on the paper. So instead of trying to create the perfect wash for the sky, I will try to enjoy how the paints are moving and mixing on the paper. So it's the sunset, so we have the yellow here just on the horizon. Here in the middle, I'm adding a bit more. And then we also have the blue sky on top of my page. And I am literally making horizontal lines and leaving the paint bleed in the water. Because we know that yellow and blue, when we mix them, we have green. That's why for the transition, I will use some pink color. And I will mix it here to make this purplish color. And then I will wash my brush, and with a dry and clean brush I will also mix this pink here with the yellow, and we will have the orange. So this is the way how I want to make transition between blue and yellow without having green in my sky. Okay, and that's all. Now let's do the same thing in the water. So I will add water all over, clean water all over my small, let's call it small river here. I want it to be quite well, like very well and even everywhere. And you can always look from the side to see if you have water everywhere. I'm not bothering too much if I am a bit out of the lines, if I am not really, you know, following my lines very well. That's all fine for me. I am really more into these colors and how they mix on the paper. Okay, let me just add a little bit more water here, like this. And then we are gonna do the same with the colors, but now this time we will have yellow here on the top, so it's like a mirror. And then we have the blue over here in the bottom. And again, I am just making these horizontal moves and brush strokes, and if I want darker just here next to the ground, I can add extra paint and leave it to bleed. And then in the middle we are gonna have the pink. And you can already see, because we are using wet in wet technique, that the colors are mixing and bleeding in each other. You can use a dry and clean brush to mix and move this paint around if you need to do so. Just like this, okay? Now I have some Payne's gray here, and I want to use a dry brush to make a few brush strokes here. And the dry brush really gives this texture on the paper, a very nice and interesting texture. So it really looks like we have some snow. And sometimes I have a little bit of the pink and the blue, because the snow is white and it also has this reflection from the colors of the sky. You could probably hear, I'm not sure, how the brush works on the paper. So just like this, I think that's it. I want a little bit of Payne's gray just to create kind of a shadow here, because the sun is very low. We have these shadows here from the tree. So I just added a few brush strokes, and I will leave it here. We don't want to overdo it. It's a sketch just for some fun time, like 5, 10, 15 minutes. So I hope you definitely had the same experience at home. I think we can wrap up. Let me just switch the camera. Thank you very much for joining and watching my video. I really hope that you learned something, and I really hope that this challenge is bringing you the joy that I also, you know, experience every time when I sit to sketch something quickly. Make sure to check out all the other platforms where I'm sharing tons of content, and definitely see what I have on Patreon, because I'm sharing exclusive classes there, the outline templates, and you will definitely have a nice and friendly community where everyone can cheer you up. And you know, we all do this for ourselves, so I'm sure that everyone will understand where you are. Thank you very much again for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye!